Why did you become a nurse?
I hate this question in job interviews.
I became a nurse on the recommendation from my sister, my older sister, who's also a nurse.
But I think I always wanted to be a nurse. I like helping people.
Because I wanted to care for people. My mother was sick when I was a child and she died when I was 7, so I always wanted to care for people that were sick like my mum.
I was in the military for 12 years and I was on an exercise up at High Range, and one of my colleagues fell over and was severely injured. And I remember as we were trying to get him out, I didn't know what to do, and I really wanted to know what I could do next time in that situation. So the very next day I signed up to become a nurse, and now I'm here.
In grade 12 I did work experience here at the Mater and absolutely loved it and knew that there was no other option.
Because I believe it's a rewarding job.
I think it's a rewarding job. It's a job that you can do anywhere.
To make old ladies smile.
What's the strangest request you've received from a patient?
An elderly patient who was... Actually, I can't do that.
Well, I worked in paediatrics for a long time, so I've had lots of requests for things like balloons or can you draw me a unicorn or something like that.
They asked for their baby to have her ears pierced rather than a hearing screen.
This patient wanted to keep some body parts that were being removed so that he could feed it to his dog. That is the strangest request I've ever had.
If you had to go to hospital, would you want to go to the one you work at? It depends which department I need to go to.
Yes, I would. Maybe not my ward because it's a colorectal ward, so...
I think it depends.
Yes, I definitely would because I know I've received great care.
Has a patient ever asked you out on a date? I have had 1 or 2 people ask me on a date.
They didn't ask me out on a date, but they did ask the theatre staff if I was single.
No.
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 Yes, they did when I was about 18. It didn't last long.
Well, they've gone one better, and I've had a patient's father ask me to please marry his son.
What makes your day as a nurse? So this question is really nice.
One of the most rewarding things that I see is when you have young junior nurses commence on ward departments and they get the support from the team around them. After a very short period of time, they're the ones that are providing guidance and support.
Every day, it always makes my day as a nurse because I always knew I'd help someone to be a lot better.
Anything that I guess you've put thought into and you were worrying about and it goes well?
What would you cure if you could?
That's a really hard question because there's lots of things that I'd like to be able to cure, but I think dementia would be a really good thing to cure if we could.
I would cure dementia. Dementia's awful and it's hard to see the family go through that as well.
Everyone wants to cure cancer. Everyone has someone that they love that's died of cancer.
I have a family member that passed away from it.
Cancer and babies that die before they're born.
I have a strong clinical background in cardiology, so the obvious answer to this question would be heart disease.
It would be hearing loss, because that would cure myself as well, and everyone who has a hearing loss.
What's been your most rewarding moment? I've had so many most rewarding moments over my career. However, becoming the nurse manager of the ward I work on is one of the greatest.
Walking a long journey with a pregnant family and them having a live birth at the very end and everything going really well.
A girl came up to me one day and said that I had looked after her as a patient and it was because of me that she'd decided to go and do her nursing degree.
Probably this, being on camera.
I think hearing a patient who'd been in ICU for multiple months, finally hearing them talk and hearing what their voice sounds like, because it goes on so long gesturing or writing words, when you finally hear what they sound like, it's like quite a, no matter what their voice is like, it's a really beautiful moment.
I would have to say seeing patients go from being almost on death's door to walking out that hallway. Sometimes they even get a little clap on their way out, and the feeling is just amazing.
How do you deal with delivering bad news?
So this is very hard for me because I tend to be on the emotional side.
I think the most important thing is to acknowledge that it will be difficult to do.
Taking a deep breath and being present with the people who you're delivering the bad news with. You don't have to solve all their problems, but just for them to know that you're there for them.
If you feel upset and you want to cry with them. I don't think it helps to be stoic and not helping, it doesn't help the situation. I think just be there for them.
What is the one question people ask you about nursing? It is it as bad as they think it is?
Generally, they always ask what department you work in.
Usually it's, I've got this pain, or I've got this rash, what do you think I should do about it?
People seem to always ask, is it gross?
If it's really gross being a nurse, some days it is, but most days it's not.
What do you wish patients and their family knew? I would say it's important that they know that while nurses in ward departments do such a fantastic job, it's a team of people that provide great quality healthcare.
Probably how hard you work when you're not in the room with them.
We really want patients and their families to know that we're all here for them, we're all here to care for them, and that at the end of the day we want what's best for them as well.
What do you talk about in the tea room?
That is sensitive information and will not be shared.
There's no filter, I feel like, in the tea room.
I think travel would probably be our biggest topic.
So in general, we talk about the work and really who gets the most complicated procedure, really.
What's said in the tea room stays in the tea room. That's the nurse's code. Can't talk about it.
If you could offload one daily job, what would it be? Making beds.
Towards the end of the day, it would probably be answering my phone.
Showering people.
Probably checking my emails and responding to them.
Probably all the paperwork.
I would have to say counting the drugs.
How many steps do you do in a day? Let me check.
Depends on if you have the loop at the end of the corridor. If you've got that, a lot. If you don't, not as many. Or if you work in ICU, like 3.
5,692.
Do you have favourite patients? No, I don't have favourite patients. There are some that, tug at your heartstrings a bit more than others, but we love everyone that comes through the door.
No, I care about them all equally. I tell my children that as well.
Is nursing really like Grey's Anatomy? I watch a few episodes. Yeah, maybe.
I wish, no.
I've never met a Dr. McDreamy, so...
Sometimes I wish it was, but it's definitely not.
So that might be one of the misconceptions that maybe I would have liked to clear up with some patients in my life. Nursing is nothing like Grey's Anatomy or Call the Midwife.
How much coffee do you actually drink? A lot more than water.
2 shots in the morning to wake me up.
Definitely too much.
I don't drink that much coffee, but I did go through a Red Bull phase.
Maybe another one before lunch, and that's it. Is that it?
What is it that you love about the role?
I love being able to be with the patients, particularly the long-term gynae and maternity patients, and just to walk that journey with them.
I'm a coordinator in the Healthy Hearing program, so I love that we're able to pick up hearing losses from newborn babies as early as 6 hours old.
I love working with the Refugee Health Service. We have the best team. I get to meet people from all over the world and help to break down barriers in the health system so that people can access better healthcare.
What do you wish people knew or understood about nursing? That nursing is really complex and that you get very emotionally involved with your patients and your colleagues and the journeys that they go on.
I wish some people would understand that nurses are also people and they get tired as well.
We're not saints, I guess. We're humans with emotions and we still feel stuff. We're just everyday people who just came to do this job because it was interesting and had meaning for us.
What would you say to someone considering a career in nursing? Definitely go for it.
That it's really challenging, but it's worthwhile and it's really fulfilling.
There's so many different opportunities that you can get. It's not just bedside nursing. You can go into research, which is what I'm doing.
I'd say it's incredibly rewarding, and just do it. It's fantastic.
Yes, that's all of them. Like, I'm not answering that one again.